Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Shocking betrayals on The Bold and the Beautiful. Bill EXILEs Luna. Steffy's suspenseful move to control Finn. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B. Recap for Thursday, March 13, reveals that Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, threw Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, outlaw Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McTins Wood, pushed John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, to make sure his daughter was locked back up. At the hospital on Thursday's B&B episode, Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, nearly passed out as Lai Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, choked her against the wall. Lai finally released Poppy from her grasp, so Poppy coughed and sputtered as she tried to catch her breath. Despite Poppy's attempt to explain what happened with Finn that night, Lai thought the whole thing was disgusting. Now that Lai had updates on all the latest Finn and Luna news, she clearly wanted nothing to do with Poppy. In the end, Lai called Poppy a horrible human being and told her to get out of her life. After Lai warned her to never come back, she declared that Poppy wasn't her sister. At the Spencer mansion, Deputy Chief Bradley Baker, Dan Martin, insisted Luna had been officially pardoned, but he'd be keeping a very close eye on her from now on. If Luna slipped up and committed more crimes, Baker made a prediction about her landing back in prison. After Baker left with the officer he brought along, Bill ordered everyone else out too. Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, Steffy and Finn all had to leave, though Finn stopped to give Luna one last look from the doorway. Once Bill was alone with Luna, he confessed to being behind her pardon and told her not to make him regret it. Luna offered a hug in her gratitude to Bill, who ultimately said she couldn't stay there anymore. Luna understood and remained thankful for everything Bill had done to give her a second chance. Bill pushed Luna to be gone by the time he got back from his meeting. Once Bill stepped out, Luna reflected on finally finding her father and refused to lose Finn now. Edel Giardino, Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, found Deacon Sharp, seen Kanan, deep in thought as she'd approached him. Deacon admitted that whenever he saw Poppy, he thought of Luna and what she did to Tom Starr, Clint Howard, along with Paul Hollis Hollister, Hollis to Lee Chambers. There was also some talk about what Luna did to Steffy as Deacon and Sheila reflected on Luna's very deserved prison time. Once Ridge and Taylor made it home to the Forrester mansion, they fumed over Bill's actions and all the pain he was causing for their family. At the Cliff House, Steffy wanted to find a way to put Luna back in prison permanently. Now that Luna was free and calling Finn Dad, Steffy warned him not to open himself up to her the way he had with Sheila. Steffy insisted Finn couldn't have a relationship with Luna, and hoped he understood that. Once Steffy circled back to her goal of putting Luna back behind bars, she pushed Finn to make sure Luna returned to prison for good. Steffy was adamant about Luna needing to be locked up for life, but Finn looked a bit torn as he hugged her. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Finn's pull to his bio daughter will remain awfully strong, so Luna will inevitably take advantage of that. Thursday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful brought a whirlwind of emotions, power struggles, and heart-wrenching decisions, as long-standing tensions finally came to a head. With Bill Spencer continuing to grapple with his family's ongoing turmoil, Steffy Forrester found herself in a heartbreaking dilemma as she wrestled with her daughter's future. The saga unfolded with all the signature twists and high-stakes moments that the show is known for. Bill Spencer throws Luna out. Bill Spencer's empire may be one of the most dominant forces in the world of The Bold and the Beautiful, but his personal life is a far more fragile matter. His relationship with his son Liam has been on shaky ground for some time, and Thursday's episode saw another emotional rift unfold between father and son. Bill, who has always been fiercely protective of his family, found himself forced to make a difficult decision when Luna, a key figure in his life, crossed a line he simply couldn't forgive. The details of Luna's betrayal were enough to send Bill into a fury, leaving him with no choice but to show her the door. In the tense moments leading up to the dramatic confrontation, Bill's emotions were raw and on full display. His normally controlled demeanor faltered as he tried to process the fact that Luna, someone he had trusted, had put him in an impossible situation. But for Bill, family comes first, and no matter how much he cared for Luna, the stakes of her actions were far too high for him to overlook. His voice, usually commanding and unshakable, trembled slightly as he ordered Luna to leave his life for good. "I can't have someone like you in my world," Bill declared, his words punctuated with the finality of a man who had made up his mind. The scene was loaded with emotional weight, not just for Bill, but for everyone who had a stake in the complex relationships surrounding him. Luna's departure was not just about her leaving Bill's mansion. It symbolized the unraveling of trust and the fracturing of a family dynamic that many had hoped would survive despite the odds. Luna, stunned and devastated, gathered her things in silence, her emotions swirling between anger and regret. As she walked out of Bill's world, it was clear that her departure marked the end of an era for her and the Spencer family. The void left by her exit was palpable, but Bill was resolute in his decision. He knew that letting go was the only way forward, even if it meant losing someone who had once been close to him. Steffy's struggle with her daughter. Meanwhile, Steffy Forrester's storyline took a darker turn as she faced a mother's worst nightmare, trying to do what was right for her daughter, but struggling with the consequences of that decision. Little Kelly Spencer, Steffy's daughter with Lyme, had been struggling with behavioral issues ever since her recent trauma. The child's increasingly erratic behavior had pushed Steffy to the brink, and Thursday's episode showed just how desperate Steffy was to restore order in Kelly's life. Steffy's pain was evident as she stood at the crossroads between wanting to protect her daughter and needing to hold her accountable for her actions. It wasn't just about Kelly's behavior. Steffy feared for her daughter's future, knowing that if Kelly's issues weren't addressed soon, it could lead to even more catastrophic results down the line. Steffy's instincts as a mother told her that locking Kelly up in a facility might be the only way to help her, but she struggled to reconcile her love for her child with the cold, hard reality that sometimes the best thing a parent can do is let go. But Steffy's pain was not only emotional, it was also political. Her push for Finn, Kelly's father, and her husband, to take action against their daughter's behavior was not just driven by maternal instincts. It was fueled by her own frustration and fear. As a woman who had been in the business world for years, Steffy knew how to strategize and manipulate to get what she wanted. And Thursday's episode saw her take that same approach when it came to Finn. "Finn, we can't wait any longer. Kelly needs to be locked up, or this will get worse," Steffy pleaded, her tone pleading but firm. Her voice cracked slightly as she spoke, showing the emotional strain of having to make such an agonizing decision. Finn, on the other hand, found himself torn. He had always been a gentle and caring father, and the thought of sending his daughter away felt like a betrayal of everything he stood for. He loved Kelly deeply, and the idea of her being locked away in some institution felt wrong on so many levels. But Steffy's persistent push left Finn questioning his own judgment and wondering if he was being too lenient. Could he afford to risk Kelly's well-being just because he couldn't bring himself to make the hard call? A family torn apart. The juxtaposition of Bill's cold dismissal of Luna and Steffy's desperate push to have her daughter locked away painted a grim picture of the emotional cost of these power struggles. In both storylines, characters who had once been close were now at odds with their loved ones, torn between the needs of the family and the desires of their own hearts. For Bill, the decision to kick Luna out was a necessary one, but it came at a great cost. He had to let go of someone he had cared about in order to preserve what was most important: his family and his legacy. It was a heartbreaking but necessary step, and it reflected Bill's constant battle to balance power with loyalty. Steffy, meanwhile, found herself making a similar sacrifice. In her quest to protect her daughter, she was willing to take drastic measures, even if it meant pushing Finn into an uncomfortable position. The toll this would take on their marriage was uncertain, but it was clear that Steffy's resolve was unwavering. She had to do whatever it took to ensure Kelly's future, even if it meant alienating the very people she loved. Thursday's episode was a reminder of the complexity of family relationships and the hard choices that people must sometimes make for the ones they love. Whether it's Bill's refusal to tolerate betrayal or Steffy's determination to control her daughter's fate, The Bold and the Beautiful continues to explore the ways in which love, power, and loyalty collide, often with devastating results. As the storylines unfold, the dramatic choices made by these characters will undoubtedly have lasting repercussions, shaping the future of their relationships and the very fabric of the Spencer and Forrester families. Only time will tell if Bill and Steffy's decisions will bring them closer to the people they love, or if they will tear their worlds apart. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.